We have had this conversation in the past. I remember talking to Chris Ballard about it last year, the GM of the team. They want to get off this cycle of veteran quarterback because every time they get the veteran quarterback post-retirement of Andrew Luck, they get him a year too late.
Right.
They get Phillip Rivers a year too late. They get Carson Wentz at least a year too late. They get Matt Ryan definitely a year too late. They want someone they can develop.
Right.
They want someone that will grow up in that system the way Luck did, the way Peyton Manning did. And on that note, here's new Colts coach Shane Steichen from yesterday talking about this lingering question. Because remember, after the league meetings, we had boiled it down to maybe one team and one team only interested in Lamar Jackson. Here's what Steichen had to say about the franchise-tagged Ravens quarterback.
You guys have spent a lot of time zeroing on these quarterbacks in this draft. There is outside a lot of noise, or has been a lot of noise about what other options you might look into, Lamar Jackson or others. Mm-hmm. Is it fair to say you're more focused on the draft than any other possibilities right now?
Yeah, we're focused on the draft, and I'm focused on the guys that are in the building right now. That's where we're at.
I mean, it's not a definitive no, but for now they're focused on the draft. And that was one of the theories that I threw out there a couple of weeks ago. We're so close to the draft now. Let's see who gets quarterbacks in the draft. The teams we suspect are looking, the teams we know are looking, and the teams that may not be looking, a la the Chiefs 6 years ago when they had Alex Smith, who had taken them to the playoffs multiple times, and then they swoop in, trade up, and get Patrick Mahomes. There could be a team out there that's looking to cut the line in front of the Colts to get, for example, an Anthony Richardson.
Sure.
So they're in a tough spot. They're in a delicate position, and it yet again proves the value. Once you know your season is lost, there's value in losing those games. There's value in being bad. I don't want to revisit the whole tanking conversation we've had in the past today. I have a feeling it'll come up again at some point, but there's value in being bad. If the Colts had been just a little bit worse, it would be more clear that they're going to get a guy that could come in and turn the franchise around at the quarterback position. Whether or not they pull it off this year depends upon whether or not somebody jumps them to number 3, and they may have to make the flip-flop to 3 to keep that from happening.
Yeah, no, I think that's a real possibility, something to watch out for. If they do move up to 3, there's a guy that they look at where you go, oh, they want him, they need him, they know this is the guy for them, that's it. If they stay at 4, that would kind of tell me that, they're comfortable with more than one guy. And there might be one guy they like more, but they're comfortable with more. At least those are the inklings I would take from the situation to a degree. I thought that was a pretty definitive answer from Shane Steichen, though. I felt like he was giving the body language as an answer of like, I've had enough of this question and this Lamar thing, and we're focused on the draft and what's right here. And he was basically trying to say stop without saying stop. At least is the way I took it, Mike. I know we all can see it different ways there. But I understand that too. As awesome as Lamar Jackson is, right? That one, he's played a certain style that you're going to try to formulate around him more, where, you draft a guy, you get to program the robot. He doesn't used to, oh, wait, I like to do this, or I want to do that, or, hey, I like this in the offense, or whatever. You just teach him, and he becomes part of the offense and part of the system. That's where, coaching a young guy has an advantage for a new head coach like Shane Steichen, to where they can grow together and formulate the offense together and be a part of that. And most offensive coaches want that type of relationship. So that seems to be the route they're comfortable going here right now. And what I'm really interested in is just if they do draft a quarterback, which I think we all think they are going to do, what route are they going to go, right? The conversation we had. Are they going to go the Anthony Richardson, we're going to play Jalen Hurts type of offense? Or are they going to go a Will Levis or a Hendon Hooker and go, no, I'm going to play the offense I played with Justin Herbert out in Los Angeles there? That's what I'm interested in. So there's a few things here that are, quite interesting surrounding the Colts situation.
Well, and that's the reality, too, that the teams that we know are, or we suspect to be looking for quarterbacks, are not going to tell us who they want for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
It's harder to get the guy that you want. If you tell the world who you want, then you know that anyone else who wants him has to get to number 3 in order to get him. It may be someone other than Anthony Richardson. And I've been meaning to ask you this question too, because it was the BYU quarterback, Jaron Hall, who recently said he's talked to pretty much every team in advance of the draft, and I don't know where he fits, but there's a belief out there that maybe some teams view him more highly than folks in the media do.
Okay.
What was your assessment of him when you looked at the quarterbacks, and would you be surprised if he ends up being not one of the top 3 quarterbacks or 4 quarterbacks taken, but what if he and Hendon Hooker are vying to be the 5th quarterback off the board?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think he's more of a guy that's down the line, Mike, of a mid-round pick where teams like him and they go, there's some stuff here about this guy. He's got a nice little motion. He's a good little athlete. The throwing as it is right now is a little below average, in my opinion, for NFL standards. But there is some things there to work with. And I think that's where, a guy like that he talks to every team, whether it's a visit at the combine, Zoom, or whatever, because teams look at it and go, hey, wait, he plays the game the right way, has some attributes that translate to today's NFL, and there's some things here where, I like it. He can get better here, but I think he can do that. That would be Jaron Hall. I think he's kind of in that situation. I still don't think he would be in the top, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks maybe, but he's maybe in that next group right there, with guys that teams circle off to go, hey, played a little bit, knows how to play the position, potential to be better. Maybe he could be something, as everybody's looking for their Brock Purdy or that mid-round diamond in the haystack type of guy.
Well, and Brock Purdy's is as late round as you can get.
Oh,
the last guy taken last year. So there are guys out there who will fit in a certain system.
There definitely
that's
is.
The challenge.
Yeah.
And that's the assessment that a team has to make. How does this guy fit with our team, with our offense, with our roster, with our coaching staff, with our culture?
Yeah.
Does he fit? We don't care what other teams think of this guy. We don't care that he's not highly rated. And in many respects, it's better to develop with some anonymity. The problem is whoever a team like the Colts would bring in this year is going to have extra attention and pressure, because the thinking is going to be they want to develop him into being the guy, because the only other alternative right now, viable alternative, is Gardner Minshew in Indianapolis. Not that there's a problem with Gardner Minshew. He was a 6th-round guy who came in and played well right away as a rookie after Nick Foles got injured week 1 of the 2019 season. He's done some good things. He's kind of become forgotten in NFL circles.
Yeah.
So maybe they're content to go with him and have a mid to late round guy develop until he's ready. Who knows? We'll find out. But the Colts clearly one of those teams that is in need of a quarterback, and they'd prefer to go with someone that they get early in his career, not late in his career.
I'd be
but
shocked,
the result
Mike,
for
right?
the Colts is,
wouldn't you?
Go ahead.
I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't go quarterback. I really would. At least round 1, round 2, something towards the top. But I'd be pretty shocked if it didn't happen at pick 4. I would. I think it's time. You don't know when you're going to be in this position. So that's the first thing I wanted to throw at you, Mike. One other thing I wanted to throw at you surrounding this situation here is, by all due accounts, I feel like that comment, what we're talking about, like the Colts are off the board for Lamar Jackson, right? I just feel like as we go here, and I know there's some teams out there that still we could go, whoa, they could use a quarterback, or they could certainly use an upgrade, or we know Lamar's better. But do we really think like legitimately there's going to be a team that's going to come away after the draft and go, oh, we didn't get a quarterback, so now let's turn to Lamar, right? I don't know. I just feel like the farther we go down the road here, the more inevitable, and especially with the OBJ signing this week, that I just feel like it's Baltimore or bust, and they're going to figure something out to make it work for this year, and then we'll just continue this drama story as we go on. I don't know. What are your thoughts on all that?
I think you're right, because even if there's some other team out there that we don't know about that's lurking to try to make a move up to get a quarterback early.
Yeah.
A team like the Vikings, if the Vikings want to solve this Kirk Cousins problem once and for all, and they want to trade up and get a quarterback, if they don't get an offer to trade up that they like, that doesn't mean they're going to pivot to Lamar Jackson. Some of these surprise teams that currently have a bird in the hand, I don't think there's an easy path to pivoting from trading up to get a quarterback and then trading for Lamar Jackson and solving your quarterback problem as you do that. Like for a Vikings team, you can't have both Kirk Cousins and Lamar Jackson on the roster, but you could have Kirk Cousins and third overall pick quarterback on the roster for a year. So if it's a team out there that has a quarterback that we're not thinking, not flagging, not suspecting could jump up, I think it dramatically complicates their lives post-draft if they would say, we're going to try to find a way to get Lamar Jackson. And also unload our current quarterback at the same time. Because how can we have both guys on the roster? So I tend to agree. And look, we're going to talk about OBJ coming up. I think that it's a pretty clear sign that the Ravens are trying to thaw the ice with Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
And it quite possibly is going to work. And it will be Baltimore or bust for Lamar Jackson in 2023. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.